So first of all, I like to suggest if you want to do a relaxation with your client, if you're talking someone through one, sometimes I like to do it when I'm doing something like this. I will remind them to drop their tongue from the roof of their mouth into the bottom of their mouth. I'm just going to say that because it's a nice relaxation point if you're ever using it. Okay, lymphatics. We start here at the clavicle and we work up to the center of the chin, and I work all the way over to about the edge of the mandible, and then I come back and go all the way to the other little corner of the mandible, and then come back to the middle. Lymphatics, somebody with a neck injury, lost lymphatics in their neck. If you have never done MLD training, do not do lymphatics on these people. You can do it on healthy people all day, but if they've lost anything in their neck or their face, don't touch them. Then we're going to activate the lymphatic nodes right here under the mandible. Nothing heavy, all very gentle and light. You're just moving the skin, not the muscle. Going to come down from the ears. These are big watersheds. You're going to come down. Then you come and start working on the face. You do this as many times as you want. This is less. The activating the big areas is where you want to do more. You also can do the back of the neck, top here, to wake everything up. Okay, so then we're going to work on the face. You just come down. Take your time with this. I'm just showing you quickly because there's no need for me to do a full treatment. You can do on the eyelids if the patient wants that or client wants that. You do not need to. And then you do all the way here, come back down, start back down the face. That's your lymphatics. You can do this in any order you want. You can do other things and then come down and do the lymphatics at the end. Okay, that's lymphatics, round one. Next thing we're going to do is basic head work. So we're going to use our fingers, occipital ridge, holding the fingers at the claw, and just doing whatever you want to activate the muscles here. You can see you can run down the neck, just straight down gently, just to activate things. You can work on the skull. You can do heavier work on the skull if you want. This area is where the TMJ muscle attaches to the head, so this is a great area to work. You can do this kind of scrubbing. I'm not going to do the full head, but you know you can come around the head. When the person's face down, you can do their head that way as well. I would always ask ahead of time. I wouldn't just assume I could do it. All of these muscles around the head and edges of the face are heavily involved in TMJ and also feel really, really good. Okay, so that's basic head stuff. You all know that, but that's just ideas on what you can do. All right, acupuncture, acupressure points. These are areas that'll help open up the sinuses. So this is right in between the brows. There's a little lump here on the inside edges of the brows. You can ask your client if they're tender and they can tell you. Right here on the edge of the outside edge of the brow, there's a point. And come back in the middle. You just feel a little dip right about here, those points. Temples, I do big swoopy rolls, and I come out, especially if the person wears glasses, I come out above their ear because that really relaxes those muscles that get indented with our glasses. You can do the back of the head here, walking up with your thumbs. You can do these at any place you want. And then walking back from the crown. This is all with the back point on the table. And the final point on the face for the acupressure points right below the eyes, right at the top of the maxilla. Just press, circle, circle, circle. Drop off the maxilla, make the lip curl up. Rub, 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 rub. All right, so those points, you can do those a couple of times. It's really nice to do. This is my little creation, the ear pull thing that I do. You can pull however you feel with the person. If somebody has piercings, just keep away from that area. Just pull the ear, pull the ear. The big thing is get your pinkies and get in, and you also have to ask the person about this. Pull up, it's a myofascial stretch. This is an area that'll relax the jaw, the ear canal, if somebody's having ear issues, and you're pulling long, soft pulls up, down, back, and forward on that person's head, the 4 compass points. If the person's got some really tight stuff going on in their ear canal, you might actually hear a pop. My client heard it the other day, and I've heard it once in one of my clients. It's quite satisfying.
So this is probably really good to release the to drain the sinuses.
This
right?
is great for the sinuses. This is great for TMJ.
TMJ.
This is great for hearing issues, all kinds of stuff. So anyway, you
And
go
relaxing.
and relaxing.
So
It's so
relaxing.
relaxing. We're down here by the sternocleidomastoid. Don't forget that little area. Sometimes
Yeah.
it's tighter than others. Remember, we've got a jugular. We've got a big issue, big chunking vein there. Be careful, we don't push down. And some people are unbalanced. On my right side's always tighter than my left. Of course, that little styloid process there we're careful about. But there's a lot of tension in this area. So we're getting into, continuing with sinus, but getting into more TMJ. In the sinus area, you can come back up to the maxilla, and underneath it, you can do some really deep, and this will help with the TMJ and sinuses. You can do some really deep work along the edge of the muscle, the edge of the bone, here in the jaw area, and you can even work on the mandible. You would talk to your client at this time and say, hey, tell me where you're feeling sensitivity, and I'll work more there, rather than having to guess. This is more of a precise thing that you'd want to do with your client that way. We did the ears, temple rub. And then one thing I like to do, here's a towel. And then when I have hot towels, which is often, I love to do this in the head massage, face massage category. Hot towel, end of the massage. I like to do this at the end. Other people do it when they want. So you're not going to be doing anything heavy. You need to tell the person this. And you're just rolling the head to a basic stop point. You're not trying to do a stretch. You're just holding the towel close to their head and using it gently. And then, if you're comfortable, I want you to try this with somebody before you do it. A gentle lift so their head's tiny bit off the table, and you're bringing their ear to their shoulder. But nothing heavy.
And are you pulling out a little bit, providing a little traction, or it's mostly just
It's
up?
mostly up. I'm not trying to do any traction, because that's not what we do. And then I leave them like that and walk out.
Cool.
So that's all I've got.
Okay. Thank you, Lenore.
You're welcome.